across the river from downtown Cincinnati, in Covington, Kentucky's main Strauss, and from the beautiful village sight, sound, and stage, it's Fret Buzz, featuring Mike Reeder, William Gilmore Weber, and the lovely Janelle Stevens as the barista. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mike Reeder.
So glad you guys can make it today to Fret Buzz. Thank you all for coming. Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Seemed like a good idea.
It did, yeah. And Bobby, appreciate you getting up. I know you were probably at the club last night, right?
You know, you got the same name as a club that's in town.
Yeah.
So amazing.
It's a coincidence.
It's been there 42 years.
Really?
Yeah. Well, people who don't know, this is amazing Bobby Mackey joining us today. A legend. Thank you so much. And we got Bill Grapes today, and Ben Walls, and Kyle English, my buddy William Weber, and Janelle
We're not that
Stevens.
friends.
Well, acquaintance, we'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What coffee is this, Janelle?
This is $3.19. They have your perfect roast, whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
It's better than $3.18, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's one better.
One better, yeah, exactly.
So how you guys been doing through all this nonsense?
It's been interesting to say the least.
It has.
You have to really try to evolve and figure out new ways to get out and connect with the audience, at least early on, at least for me.
Have you played out then since?
I've been playing out a lot recently, more than expected. When it all first started and everything shut down, some friends of mine were like, hey, there's these people doing these Facebook concerts. You should do that. And I did it on a whim one night, and I thought, oh, I'll do this for about an hour, and I don't care about making any money. I'll just donate it to a small charity called Survive and Thrive that I help out with. And next thing you know, I had like 400 people watching.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I went on for like 3.5 hours. and it went so well, I made like $3,000 the first night, and I did another 5, and over the course of those 5 shows, we generated $29,000.
Oh man, you had a great time.
That's great. And I saw people come up and they're like, those things got us through quarantine, because people would like tailgate for it. They'd be like, we got our projector up out back and a fire pit, and we're like,
so would they text in like requests?
Yeah, they would text in. My wife would come in, and she was like my producer.
We got a donation for,
and she would come in and be like, Jim, we had like 14 different states that were watching, people I knew or whatever.
Did you have the thermometer? Oh, we want to get it up to.
Typically advanced. Although I did eventually get a little thing that helped out a little bit with some, so I didn't have to hold a piece of paper up. The first time I did it, I had a flag in back of me. The flag, I didn't have the camera set up right, so everything was in reverse. So they're like, I didn't know you were left-handed. You're like, veterans are like, hey, that flag was backwards, man.
From Australia
or something like that, whatever. And then my people were like, I can't read your Venmo, it's backwards or whatever. So hey, she had to run downstairs and.
So you turned around.
Turned it backwards. Yeah, I turned around. Now you can see it.
Yeah, it's like when people video, but they don't flip their phone to the wide side. It always drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But it was a great memory from when all this hopefully crazy.
Yeah, Mike Jacoby
at some point. Yeah,
told me about it. Said it was great. He's one of our engineers there. And thanks for coming, Ben.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
I actually have seen. I think I've seen all your videos. Bobby, I watched yours. They're great. Yeah. Cool thing. And you have Mike Carr help you a little bit with those. Yeah, he's a good guy. What about you, Kyle? Yeah, I know you're doing the album here with Elton.
Yeah, we've. I think we're up to 20 some odd songs now, and
that's 2 albums, buddy.
Yeah, that is.
Maybe 3.
Gatefold sleeves, so you can catch a seat.
And it's tricky. It's tricky because prior to the whole COVID thing, and everybody's starting to go online and everybody's starting to go live, I stepped back because somebody had told me a while ago. They said take every single gig that you can get. So I was doing 8-9 gigs in 10 days, 2 in a day, and just gigging, because he goes, you never know when they're going to dry up.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, and I just kind of said, God, I could use a little break because I wasn't going to take one. And I get a call 45 minutes later, and it was, did you hear they shut down all the bars?
Yeah.
Good thing you took them all.
Okay, yeah, that's,
There you go.
know. And so for me, I sat down and I really got into learning guitar more. And that was good. It was good to step back. It was good to see everything. It was good
Roy
to take
Clark's song about
a minute, just sit back and just
Velvet.
just start. Yeah, exactly. You know, the melting master.
Let's see your fingers.
Start at the beginning.
You know, because it's funny, and I think you'll know this because they say all the money's in the first 4 chords. You know, but if you're a solo guy,
Can you tell me what they are?
yeah, exactly. I still don't know what they're called.
That'll cost you.
I don't know what Elton is. I got to text Elton. You know, hey, Elton, what chord is this? Can I go to this chord? You know, and so we set about doing more of the record here, and then I got a call. Elton, are you busy? Yeah, I'm busy. Can't do the record today. But Nashville's funny because I was making trips down there, and I joined a songwriting group called Tennessee Songwriters Association International.
I never knew I never knew there's any more than 4 chords.
Learn something.
Yeah.
Well, if you hit one by mistake, like fingers are off, that's jazz.
Yeah, that's again Elton's department. So.
Well, that's cool. That's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So you were like making trips down there or what?
Yeah, so I'd go, several times a month just again learn more about the industry.
Since COVID, you've been doing that?
Since COVID, I haven't, again because it was just like nobody knows how anything works. Everybody, I know people who've gone down there. It's a different town. Everything's on lockdown. You can get up maybe, but make sure you're saying you're going to the bathroom and then get right back to your seat. You know?
Craziness for sure, man.
So
Everything went nuts back in March.
Yeah.
Life changed overnight, didn't it?
Yeah, it must have hit.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, anybody would realize it.
Especially your life.
Yeah.
They kept throwing roadblocks at us, and we just find a way around it.
exactly.
You got the train trestle behind you, right?
Yeah.
People.
That same train track goes right through my hometown up in Lewis County, Kentucky, little town of Concord. That same train track, I get on that track and go right through my
hop it.
hometown, right by. My dad ran a grocery store right next to the track where I grew up, and it's strange because it runs right behind that club.
It is crazy.
You can tell them that, for occupancy, like, most of these people are ghosts. And they don't.
Right.
For occupancy.
Ghosts have to sit 6
Oh,
feet
yeah.
away from each other.
These are just spirits here. Spirits drinking spirits.
Social distancing don't count.
Just walk through each other.
It's just a different plane of existence.
It's all dimensional. Oh, we got a new person here.
Bill, we were talking, you guys did an album.
Yeah.
Process,
We ended up recording it. We kind of saw it was coming, and so we hurried up to do it. We did it with Clint over at Herzog.
Right.
And
Which band was that again?
Mortals.
The Mortals, yeah.
And so kind of slowed us down with the lockdown simply because we couldn't. There were a couple overdubs we wanted to get done too, and so we've been slowly able to do the overdubs and stuff
Sure.
like that.
You're doing them there or on your own? Like in your.
We're doing some we did on our own, and that's the beauty of the internet. You can say, "Hey, I posted this. Go
And
ahead,
he'll bring it
go
in.
ahead and grab it." Yeah.
So does
Yeah.
Denny still have his stuff?
Denny's got his stuff set up at his house, so he was
Okay.
able to do his vocals and lay down his guitar overdubs.
Denny
there.
Brown.
Denny Brown, yeah. So he's our secret weapon, and I was able to do some keyboard stuff and
Yeah.
that way too, and so we've been able to, since stuff has been lightening up some, been going over to Clint's house now and able to do some overdubs.
Yeah, I mean, Clint's been doing a lot of work. He did one of our songs for Chalk Eye too. And he's a great engineer, man.
Oh yeah. So it's really cool. So he's totally on board. You want to try anything that's totally off the wall? He's like,
Yeah.
let's do that.
But did he have you guys go through the Lab 6 or Lab Series amp? He really loved that Lab Series amp.
No, I think actually I played through 4 or 5 amps. So I played through a Marshall, an AC50.
You used to have one of those, right?
A Bugera, I think Vibralux. So yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually was in a band with Grimm for 2 days. Their drummer.
Yeah.
So
Mike Grimm.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other secret weapon.
Yeah.
So-
Great drummer.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, yeah, he's
Yeah, he was the original drummer for the Mud Pies.
really was
Yeah.
it? That's the 2 days.
That was the 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he's like,
There was like, this is way too much like the Who. Because I'm like an head whistle freak, so it's just like we were way
you
too
would have
much.
stuck around.
Well, guys, I got some cool guitars, man. I can't wait to hear you guys play.
Pretty
It's gonna be a
exciting.
good time. We got Kyle coming up next.
Excellent.
Yeah, what do you
And
got?
more coffee.
What do you got planned for us, buddy?
I have no idea.
Right on.
Visit Mike's Music Productions at the Village Sight, Sound, and Stage in Covington, Kentucky's historic Main Strasse Village. Allow us to help you create your audio and video productions. Come create with us at the Village.
Back on the show? Yeah, coffee. Woo! Woo! We got Kyle about to entertain us with a lovely tune.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's
Dark
harsh
and barky.
like an industrial, moody
Sonic
Who knows?
youth.
I grew up on punk rock and like 70s punk rock, and then I grew up on metal, and I grew up on a lot of those things. And
But you said grew
So you
up.
went backwards.
and well, yeah, exactly. and I couldn't sing like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't, and I didn't want to at some point in time.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look at like Timmy Armstrong, Rancid, They Game, Doggies, you know, somewhere
Yeah.
like that. And it was something about sounding more like Tracy Chapman. And every time I'd pick up an acoustic guitar as I'm holding, and I guess you can't get any more close to an acoustic guitar
There you
than
go,
a thin
yeah.
line, you know.
Yeah.
And I love electric, but every time I'd pick up an acoustic, everybody's like, "That's what you should be doing. That's what you sound like. That's what you should be doing." You know. And when you're 16, you're like, "No, I wanna do this. I wanna rock. You know, I
Right.
wanna sound like Pennywise. You know, something like that." And it was just, you go on these adventures, like we heard about you in the band having to play piano so you could play drums.
Right, yeah.
To play drums for 2 days and then get.
Well, no, I actually never got to play drums because I never had the piano, so they made me play
Okay.
saxophone. Yeah.
So you said,
Wow,
I'll show
that's
them.
like-
I'll show them.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you
saxophone.
play drums unless you had piano lessons for 2 years.
But they let you do sax.
But you know
which
what?
is
They
like a
never
really
warned
squonky-
you. They never warned you like 2 years before in school that if you want to play drums, start having piano lessons.
Right.
It's just when you went to be try for drums, they're like, oh, well, you haven't had piano. Maybe I just sucked, and that was the way to get me out of there.
I just,
Tell him he has to have piano lessons. Get rid of
Okay,
him.
we got a kid that's interested in playing drums. Let's have him play something else.
Oh, that kid.
So what's the tune about you're about to entertain us with here?
We were talking previously about Nashville, and I've been making trips again, trying just to learn the business side of all of that, and I know you've seen every aspect of music, you know.
42 years over there on the pike, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and
Learn something.
and for me, I was making trips back and forth, and Nashville's a funny place because you'll go down, and sometimes you'll have these pitches, and you just bring them, and they'll say, "Bring your best, bring what you have, bring what the best song that you have," and you'll go in a room just like this. You won't know anybody. You know, you'll have her. She's
Kind of like
in
an
the
AA
room.
meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you sit down and you start, that you put up your best song. And this song just kind of came about in two ways. Making those trips back and forth. And regretfully, if you go a more commercial side of music and you try to exploit music commercially, you have to dumb down a little bit. You have to write a little bit vaguer. You have to get on with the song very quickly.
It's all based on the hook and the
Yeah.
catchy saying, whatever that, girls can repeat, and
Yeah.
tequila makes her clothes fall off. Stuff like that,
All right, let's go write that one.
I was gonna say, is that how you write those? Or it makes my clothes fall off. I don't know.
We're thinking too
Tequila
hard.
does make your clothes fall off. Yeah, I've seen that.
Your 20 words you must include in this song.
Right.
Relevant. You have to figure
Like
out
David
what
Alco, you gotta include,
Butts,
mama.
beer, cooler, truck. And I have to laugh too because we were
Dead
going to
dog.
co-write.
Jim Beam will do that.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely will, yeah.
He's
and
not
like,
that picky.
and the other funny thing too is that we're all liars. We're all professional liars. This is what we do. We're paid to lie. We're paid to tell these stories. We're paid to. We might not live them, but we hear them from somebody else, so we make those things ours. And so at the end of the co-write, we finished up, and it was trucks, beer, cooler, whatever you have to do. And we all go out to our reasonably priced economy cars.
Yeah.
Because you cannot drive them. You can't drive a truck around Nashville at all, because there's nowhere to park. You can't pay,
If driving down there would kill you on fuel economy.
Unless you're selling furniture out the back of it.
Or you're a countywide mover.
So, this song kind of just came out of leaving Nashville, driving back to Cincinnati, and just kind of thinking about those images as you're going up and down that highway and making that trip, several times a month. And that was really just kind of the basis of the song.
Awesome.
And then Elton's back there. Can we pan over to Elton real quick?
Sure, yeah. He'll be right here.
He'll be on the
Yeah.
Positron.
And Elton's funny because I've learned so much from him. If you actually listen to Elton, sometimes I don't know where's his son. His son's back there too. Because it's good to have somebody who actually listens to me, because my own kids don't do that some days. And he was always on, I want a song to start not on the one chord. Give me a song to not start on the one chord. And it's all over his Facebook, feed. I just want a song not to start on the one chord.
So, does he let you go 30 minutes into it, or 30 seconds? Like, stop, this is...
Oh, God. Oh, no, recording.
Play drums.
That sucks.
No, we do. We're like an old married couple. We're like an old married couple.
The guys in the Muppets in the balcony, huh?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. He, one time I said the word wangs instead of wings, and he goes, "What the hell is that?" I said, "I don't know, man."
That'll be a new saying.
He's like, go back and re-sing that, So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it. There's no wangs in this one.
There's no wangs in this one. We took all the wangs out of it,
PG. We're gonna wang it.
Now, is he allowed to plug in and play some lead? Come on, Elton. I'll just borrow that.
Gotta play piano first.
Yeah, I'll borrow that jumbo real quick. She threw her thumb up in the air. The wind's blowing through her hair. She's looking to get up and get out, or get on now. She's looking to sing a highway song, and it goes on and on, yeah. So on and on, yeah, yeah. On and on, yeah. I'm just a simple highway song. I'm just a simple highway song. She's not about to let the dust settle on her boots, and all the rust to grow on and stain her soul. Her dream is to find the words and the notes, so she can sing a highway song, and it goes on and on, yeah. So now, yeah, yeah. Now, yeah. I'm just a simple highway song. She's gone, baby, she's gone now. She's getting down that road, and where it goes, she don't really care, as long as it brings her back to back to back, back to back to back, back to her highway song. Well, it goes now, yeah. Now, yeah, yeah. Now, yeah. I'm just a simple highway song. I'm just a simple highway song. Just a simple highway song. Well, that is a fun guitar.
Yeah!
Yes.
Great job, Kyle. Great job, man.
Oh, thank you.
Sounded killer.
Yeah.
So is that
75, man.
is that one of the tunes you've been recording here with E?
Yeah, we've done it, we've released it, we've edited it, we've cut it down. Well, we haven't really released it. We pitched it a few times, edited it more, came back and just done some different things with the song. And it's one of those funny ones because it's her highway song, so I didn't really want to get very definitive on it. Is that the right way of saying it? I didn't want to define what that would be, hence the na-na-na part.
Yeah, the
it's a
na-na-na,
little-
yeah.
It's a little cliche, and I get that, but it's like,
Hey,
you
it fits the point, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Why, if I, and again, Nashville's very funny. They want very specific, very, very specific. Spell it out for me. And I don't always like.
N-A-N-A-N-A.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you spell EU?
And you go back to some really good songs.
This is what we want.
Yeah. And it's funny. It has an effect on you because, like, if you listen to Mad Men Across the Water by Elton John, who the hell knows what that song is about? But you kind of come back to it because it's so good and it's so
great song.
invoking, And so going from something like that to doing something very, very more specific, here's the song, here's what it means, spell it out for the listener. And again, I think it's a lot of what we talked about. Our attention span is so distracted. Facebook Live, Twitter Live, cable, sports, that it was nice when COVID hit, not for what everybody went through, but to stop.
I think everybody kind of reset
For a minute,
I know
yeah.
I did. I took a step back and was like, because my life is madness.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point I was playing. I literally had 3 gigs in one night, and then on break I ran the Southgate House and played for a benefit for 2 songs and went back and finished the set down the street.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus the stores and just crazy like that. I mean, I had to slow down, so it was a good opportunity for me to just step back and
Well,
say,
you're an essential, so you were open.
sure.
Guitars.
Actually, we were closed, but
Yeah.
we did a lot of recording. And I got caught up on a lot of things. I've been sitting around. I'm sure everybody did, and step back and look at their life, and it's like, because time is the only thing you never get back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the scary thing to me is now that we've all have a little bit more freedom again, I feel like everybody's kind of lost some of those lessons,
Yeah,
and it's
maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Bobby can relate to this. As a business owner, man, you just try to
Closed for
fight.
15 weeks.
I know.
And it seemed like eternity.
It did seem like
Yeah.
eternity.
Wow.
And you how long have you been in business?
42 years.
So and I've been almost 30. So it's like your life, whether you want it to be your life or not, it's connected to it very, very much.
Yeah.
So
I have to separate my career from the club. Been at the club 42 years, but my career, this is my 50th year in music.
yeah. Did you ever spend any time in Nashville?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
In fact, when I got the club, I was torn between moving to Nashville or getting my own nightclub. And I opted for the more secure route to get the club because I'd played other clubs and all of them had been successful.
Yeah. Plus you have
So
a home life that way, right?
Yeah. Stay home.
Yeah.
But I got the club with keeping in mind that having my own club, I could go to Nashville whenever I wanted.
Right.
Right.
And I
Right.
did.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can bring people from Nashville.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of Cincinnati is we're so close that you just hop right down there, come right back. And like you said, you can still have a life.
Yeah, but there's Knoxville in the construction.
Yeah. Let's talk about this guitar,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
When we were doing the guitars for the show, you mind if I grab it from you?
Yeah. Let's take that off. Nobody wants to see a capo on an electric, right? There's an acoustic player right
I
there.
had just got this guitar, and I was thinking what would be sort of acoustic sounding, but something that's not. So I just got this guitar, and it's a weird guitar because it's a transition thin line. We had, and when did we have the other one on? Was it last show?
A couple shows ago.
A couple of shows ago, we have the first version of the thin line. This is the second version of the thin line. This is a 71. It's the first year for the Humbuckers. It's a really, really late 71, because usually this doesn't happen until
So it's
72.
not like called like a, it's still a Tele thin line, but it's not like custom or like a.
No, they just basically they go from the normal Tele setup of 2 single coils to these Seth Lover humbuckers. And these pickups were designed by the Gibson guy, Seth Lover.
Yes, yeah.
And they're great sounding humbuckers, and this is the first year for that. This one is sort of a transition in that it has a single string tree. Most of these have 2. So it's sort of got some of the features of the earlier one. It also has patent pending saddles, which I've never seen another one have. So usually these have like the 70s type saddles.
So I guess the patent one.
And the chrome piece that goes on there, they always get lost, don't they?
Yeah, the ashtray covers. Yeah.
It's in the.
Yeah.
I took it off. I said, "Hey, Mike, I'm going to put this back in the case. So,
Yeah.
you have that.
I got an old Duo Sonic. Fender.
Has the same cover.
Yeah, it's got the chrome cover.
Yeah.
But it probably a 1962 model, I think.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah. This one is ash. This is an ash body.
Yeah.
The real early ones are mahogany, and then they go to ash body. They still have the single coil pickups. Then they go to this version. This is a perloid guard. They also came with white guards, solid white.
Oh, that's a 3.
Yeah, it's like perloid. I always thought those were
3-ply.
cool.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
liked
yeah.
this.
My dad bought me the Duo Sonic, and I played it and beat on. I was always breaking string every time I start to play.
I still do it.
And then my dad bought me that, and a couple of years later, my mom bought me a Martin.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I've never been the same since. I still got both guitars.
Yeah.
I noticed down on the side of the pick art, is that wear or you think that
It
was
is.
a sticker?
Yeah.
No, that's wear. A little bit of wear. That happens to the perloid. I'm not sure why. It sort of wears through and becomes sort of solid. But yeah, it's a nice, clean guitar. I thought it was interesting, and then it's a transition one.
I'm sorry, did you mention the year? I don't know.
71.
It's a 71.
Okay.
Real late 71. Yeah.
And actually, what's cool about those, if you get one of those pickups now, if you buy them new, they're not those pickups.
Oh yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, like the screws in those pickups are magnetic, and they're specifically milled for those pickups. And it's
Wow.
it's I was reading about it the other day, and I was just like,
So you can't go
So
to
you
like,
got the advanced notes on the guitars that were going to be.
I've been like
He did his
that.
homework.
Part of the COVID thing is I've been.
so you can't go to Home Depot and get
A
replacements?
lot of people are nerding out on guitars during COVID.
Yeah.
We've been actually
Yeah.
pretty busy on the web for that reason.
Well, like last year, I went and I built a guitar, and it's like an ES 235 style. And so I was checking out wiring, and I was talking to friends like Django Ramon, who's like this amazing guitar player. Plus, he builds little amps, he builds pedals, and he's wired stuff before. So I'm like, hey, how do you do this? So I've slowly been like replacing pickups in guitars. So I was looking at those because I was also looking at different pickups, and that's how I found that out.
Well,
So,
I
yeah.
always love these pickups. I think they sound great. I mean, I'm a Gibson
It
guy.
sounded great when,
Yeah.
It sounded very
everything
acoustic,
rang, you know,
yeah.
shiny.
Yeah.
Through the AC30, I think it was
Yeah.
really complimented your voice and sounded really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Tele guy. They're the closest I think you can get to an acoustic. You know, I live in the acoustic land. That's my bread and butter. So I have those delusions of being a punk rocker playing an electric guitar. That occasionally, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
It was a Tilly.
yeah, and so that is like it's the most easiest way to step into them. Simple bridge. You don't got a floating trim. You don't got
Yeah.
things that fall off of it like on a Gibson when you're like, well, where did that piece go? And you're chasing your bridge on the floor.
The only thing I chased was the grommets. Is that what they're called on the
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
Yeah, they will fall out on you occasionally. But,
Yeah.
but it sounded great, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
appreciate your
Excellent.
comment.
Great neck.
It sounded so good. Looking forward to hearing you up next, man. And
Looking forward to doing it.
is that song going to be on the record?
Yeah, we're gonna pitch it a few more times, and then it's just learning the value in songs right now in Nashville is holding on to them.
So you got 20. Are you going to like pick and choose or something? You just wanted to have and then maybe put out the
Yeah.
other ones later or something
Well,
like that?
so much of it is just sitting down, like we said with COVID, sitting down, writing, just write, and hold on to songs, write other songs, just keep going. And that's how we ended up with about 20. And then it's like, well, what do you do? Do you release it into the void of the internet and hope to God as everybody is live streaming, you know.
Yeah.
And you should never leave the house again if you can make that kind of money.
I was able to give it all, but
So, Kyle,
You did give it all too, right?
where can we hear you? Where can we hear you?
If you just check out KyleEnglishMusic.com, you know, that'll tell you where I'm gigging around town. You can link to some of the stuff on Spotify. You'll be able to link to this and you know, when this comes out, you know.
Oh, right on.
So
Well, enjoy this Vintage Mike's Music commercial. We'll be right back with Ben.
Get cash today for your vintage instrument. Mike's Music is always seeking to buy fine vintage instruments. Mike's Music, 2615 Vine Street in Clifton, is one of the world's premier vintage instrument dealers. We service collectors and professional musicians worldwide. We also repair and restore instruments. Get top dollar for your vintage instrument today. Call Mike's Music now, 513-281-4900.
Yeah, back on the show. We got the fabulous Ben Walls with us today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me down here. I got a lot of great memories right down this area. I actually met my wife right across the street.
Yeah,
and
I met her
proposed to her right across. I said, "See, you're like so many other people I've met."
Oh,
No,
He met his wife
No.
across
We'll
the
edit
street.
that out.
no.
he'll be here all week.
He met his
Been
wife
kicked out of
across the
house.
street, and he didn't even know he was married.
I didn't even know. That's what I meant. You look familiar.
Oh, you were walking with your girlfriend.
No, but we met across the street. I used to play down this area probably 4 or 5 nights a week in my early to mid 20s or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
And,
same name bars that were over there?
let's see. Strauss House has been a mainstay. Village Pub, yes. Down at the end of the street, I forget what it's called now. I think it's like a taco or Mexican type place. But that was when I initially started playing. It was Zippers.
Was she managing Sudsies at that
Yeah,
time?
she was. She was actually managing Sudsies, and she came in one night while I was playing. I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
she looks
Can I
pretty
ask her
nice."
Yeah, I've met her back.
I know her
in the day.
last
And
name's
it-
Walls, but
Yes, and
what's her first name?
Janine Lambert was
Oh,
her
I know
name at the
Janine.
time.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
So and sadly they just saw a video where they were tearing Sudsies down. They actually
Yeah, I just took
demoed
a
it the
picture
other
of
day.
it today. It's all gone. Yeah.
And so she
They're gonna
had
make a
a
laundromat out of it, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I hear.
That's probably a good move.
Hey, Paradise put up a laundromat.
Yeah.
No, but they had a great run over there, and of course Dan McCabe gets all the credit for all the music. He was great about that.
Well, yeah, it was
Visionary
many
for bringing all
years,
those acts in and stuff. But yeah, so this has been great for me to get down here. You know, I kind of like wake up on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and I have my coffee, and I watch other music shows on the web. So this is like I actually get to be a part of one of these shows. So this
Oh,
is
you watch this?
yeah,
This and Jimmy Swagger.
that's right. Yes, right.
I don't know what you guys want.
Exactly.
Some more coffee, don't you?
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Janelle, can we get some more of this fabulous coffee, please?
More fabulous coffee.
Now, if you put a finger in it, it's 320, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
This is the 319, right?
Yes, it's 319. They're grown. The beans are grown on organic farms.
Oh yeah. I'd tell you what.
Oh yeah.
Or guess delicious. I'll take the dregs, you know.
I find
Story
it
of your life.
I never got the dregs.
The spider.
William, I think you're out of luck.
Oh well.
Sorry, William.
You could
Next time,
just give him some grounds and do a pinch between his cheek and gum.
We've been trying to get Bobby to have coffee. He's never had coffee his entire
Never
life.
drank coffee.
Yeah.
No way.
Has this
Really?
ended
Never
badly
drank a cup of
for
coffee in my
anybody?
What's that?
Has
Coffee?
anybody ended up with some in their lap yet?
I do all the
guitar.
time.
Well,
man.
we-
Right down the front.
We had an episode where I brought in a custom colored red Strat with a matching headstock.
Oh, no.
It was a 62.
Oh no.
No.
And
No.
Was not me.
yeah, Mara, we had a freestyler named Mara. She screwed the lid off too far.
She was
and
late.
It poured on top of the Strat. So
It's on crooked and it's spilling, and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's not over the mic.
It's just on, it's just
Yeah.
Is it on the
it's on the
outside?
56,
Somebody in it's out. I don't know.
Mara.
or
That's
64.
fucking lid on here.
Yeah,
This was not me.
that's really the only accent we've ever had.
Wow.
It went from red to mocha.
But yeah, this is delicious, don't you guys think?
Yes.
Don't ask me. I'm like,
Yeah, well,
the first one was. You know.
Rich and thick, I would say.
This is very good.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me down. It's always nice to be around other musicians, and also I love guitar, but I am not a guitar aficionado like you guys are, so it's always cool to come down here and see these old vintage instruments and learn a little bit more about
He's got to
them
get new ones, I think.
what went into them. I've always wound up playing something new or whatever, so this is kind of nice to feel something old that has a lot of
Well, that's cool, man.
history.
Did you guys ever come in the store when you were dating?
Yes.
Was it Suzzy's?
So I mentioned this when you first reached out to me about being on this show. So years ago, Mike, when he was first starting out, had a shop out in Ross, Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah, Mike's Music and Fleet.
Yes. So and I was going to a field, like a farm party. I was 18 or 19 and cruising out Route 8, and I saw this place on the way. I'm like, there's a music store in Ross, Kentucky.
Yeah, I loved it.
What are the chances? So on my way back, I said, I'm going to have to check this place out. So I slightly hungover from the night before. I came back and went in, and I was young, just starting out. My older brother Jake played music at the time, and I was borrowing his PA if I ever had a gig. And so I needed a PA head. So I went in, and lo and behold, I found my first ever PA head at Mike's store. That was my first major music purchase, and it was an old. It was a PV6 channel board that was about the size of this coffee table.
Still paying the
and
old
weighed
school
about
ones.
50 pounds. But it was mine.
Probably
and I
still
could-
works.
It probably
PV
does.
stuff
I don't
goes
know who has it now. I think I sold it for some other gear at one point, but it was mine. I was proud of that thing, and I used that, and
Well,
that's
that's
where
cool.
that's what
You
I
use
used
all
when I
6
first
channels,
started.
or just like
I was like 2 channels for the most. Just
when those
me.
went out, you just
Yeah, I was
just
like,
move 'em
okay,
over,
it's
yeah.
all good.
Well, I actually meant the Cincinnati store since she worked across the street.
Yeah, I used to go in
Yeah.
there quite a bit, and again, a lot of the stuff was like, okay, wait a minute, I can't afford some of these in here just yet. But maybe eventually I'll be able to come over and buy one of these nice vintage
well,
instruments.
that's when you ask for something for Christmas from Janine.
That's right. A little something extra in the stuff.
So does
What's
she-
in that? It's like,
What's it? What
Does
could
she
that
have any
be?
war stories from like the Sudzy's days that you remember?
She was talking about the time
With my name
when Beck was supposed to do a show there.
remember that show.
And he came down very ill and had to be
Yeah,
hospitalized.
he
And
promised
I think
to come back.
they all went and made him a card and sent him a card in the hospital. And there was a time when Kate Pearson and Chrissy Hine from the Pretenders, Kate Pearson from the B-52s, they came over.
I
They
remember that.
were protesting P&G at the time. I think they were handing out, because it's a laundromat.
Yeah.
They were giving out it didn't say Tide, it said Died. For your animals or for your laundry or whatever. And then I forget who else. I think Eddie Vedder did a show there. Of course, the Afghan Wigs used to play there quite a bit, and countless other bands that came
Sure.
through there. I met people at my day job that were like, Sudzy's, my band played there one
Oh, yeah,
time.
I've
or
played there
we
many
did.
times.
So it very
William
was.
used to live in the upstairs occasionally.
No, well, I worked at Kinko's upstairs, but
There you go.
there used to be a futon place.
Was it
down
Norca
the-
Futon or something?
What's
like
that?
that? Was it Norca Futon? Or
Something
was
like
it- or
that,
something?
but they left a couple behind, and John, the owner, I was between apartments. I was getting one, but it was like 3 weeks, and he allowed me down there, and
He stumbled down there.
there was.
He said it was
No,
3
I fell.
weeks, but it was 3 months.
I tried to set the
He fell down
futon
the
right
stairs.
at the bottom,
It's good to have a plan.
But there were some things that happened.
I'm sure. Yeah, she tells some stories about stuff that happened in the bathrooms, and they were notorious for having the absolute best bathrooms.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I remember they had a urinal that had a picture of Simon Lease on it. Or,
yeah. There was plenty of that stuff going on, but it was the only place you could smoke while you did your laundry. So
Yeah, the
your
condom
clothes had
machine
a
said
nice
this.
fresh.
The condom machine said this gum tastes terrible.
Yeah.
That was it.
But it's the only place I've ever been where you could see a band and also see someone in their underwear doing their laundry. Smoking.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jackson Brown used to come there and do his laundry.
Yeah, you know
a
what?
lot of bands.
Lots of probably lots more. than
Fleetwood
that.
Mac came to the store and they were across the street doing their laundry.
Yeah, I'm sure there was probably lots more.
Stevie
Janine
was beating stuff on a rock. It was like,
Stevie wasn't with him, was the guy.
Janine probably wouldn't have known some
on
of
the
them if
curb.
they came in. She'd have been like, "Oh, who's this person over there doing their laundry?"
So anyway, what's happened since Sudzy's?
Well, let's see. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Let's get into the 90s.
Yeah, sorry. So I did a couple CDs back in the early 2000s. 2001, I did my first one called Circles Around the Sun, and then I did another one in
remember
2003 called Days Like These. And then I had kids, and I've yet to put one out since, because
slow
my
things
oldest is
down.
19, so you can kind of see what happened there. But I've actually been working with Mike DeCalvi over the past few years. We've actually recorded probably about 4 or 5 songs, and we've got a couple other ones I'm supposed to get at his house this week to work on some. I get depressed every time my Facebook memory comes up. It's like 5 years ago, and it was the first day we went out to start cutting songs. I'm like, man, it's been that long, and we still haven't finished some of these.
Time flies.
That's faster than working with Elton.
It's challenging because he gets on me because I don't. He's like, you need to learn to finish songs because I get on there and it's like if you don't have somebody asking for them right away, you're like, I'll just let that one simmer for a while, and then you come back and like, I don't know if that guitar tone's right on that one or this vocal line or whatever. You want to go back and start changing
that's
stuff.
a rabbit
It's
hole.
like, you just have to you just have to learn to go in and finish it and
move on.
Well, Mike is
back
a
and go
master,
on.
man. He has one of the best ears I've ever heard. We're very lucky to have him as an engineer here.
Yeah.
And he's really changed things for us, and he's really improved things. We call him the professor. So you're very lucky to have him working on your
He's
stuff.
been very helpful.
You know him, Mary Ann, then.
Well, he's helpful because he brings a producer ear to it, and honestly, the first 2 CDs I did, the first one was a group effort. All great guys, Jeff Monroe out there and stuff. I was young. I had never done anything like that before, and I think I listened back to stuff, and I think like vocally I could have done
Everyone
a better
does that,
job
I
and
think.
stuff. Like it seemed like a little stiff on my delivery on stuff, and I think Mike does a great job. He won't hesitate to tell me that I'm either flat or sharp or you need to try something.
As long as
a little
he's not
different
like a
with
Phil
that.
Spector and makes you do it like 50 times at gunpoint.
With the gunpoint, with the light wired on.
Yeah, he does a great job of being encouraging about stuff like that. Was great, and he's just like relax and get in there and just sing it like you would normally sing it when you were writing it and stuff. And
Are you playing at the same time? Or?
sometimes I do. A lot of times I will try to do a track with a DI in my acoustic because that's my main instrument. I do play some electric and stuff as well, but a lot of times I'll track with the DI, sing it just to get the feel of the song down, and then I'll go back and then track it with the mic'd acoustic, and it gets a great sound.
Is this song a song you've done with Mike?
Yeah, this is a side. That's why I wanted to pick this because Mike kind of introduced me to coming down here today. So I wanted to do one that we had been working on. This one's actually pretty much complete until I get another idea and tell him I want to change something.
Awesome.
It'll happen here now.
That's right.
Can't wait to
He's
hear it.
probably going to be cursing me when he sees this. But this is actually a song called Walls. No relation to myself.
Spelled differently, I see.
Yes,
With a Z?
yes. My last name is actually with the Z, and this is just straight up Walls. But I got to listen to it, and actually over the past year or so, with everything that's been going on, I kind of found some new meanings in this song, even though it was written probably 3 to 4 years ago. I'm like, oh, this is actually, some of these lines are very relevant to stuff that's going on now. So this is really just a song about people opening up to one another, and that like you find out new things when you actually kind of let down your guard. So that's kind of the big that's the big stumbling block, I think, with a lot of people and relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship or even just a personal relationship with a friend or something. Like once you like let down your guard and you tell people some things about you, that's really when there's a bond of trust.
And then it comes back.
About them. Yeah, and then they come back and
You never
get you
tell a
everything.
songwriter because we'll just put it in a song.
That's right. That's
Don't
true. That's
tell
true.
us anything.
So I won't tell you guys.
That's why I just make crap up.
Yeah, so this is one called Walls. So.
What's on your mind? Say what's in your heart. Your deepest thoughts revealed to me, and I won't judge, and you will find the only truth can set you free from all that holds our worlds apart. This feeling, that nothing can change the way that I feel when you're around. My heart starts to pound, my feet leave the ground. The sweet anticipation walls come down. Come down. Come down.
Yeah, beautiful.
You know that?
Yeah.
It's like a great soundtrack song. I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
I kind of
great
wrote
song.
it a little bit with that in mind because one thing Mike and I we've been trying to work on a little bit, and a lot of it's my fault actually for just not, pushing through and following through enough. Is I've done a couple songs that he's pitched out to a couple other people, and one of my issues is sometimes I get a little bit too much of the influence of people that I've heard growing up, either vocally, songwriting wise. So I get a little some of the. There's already a James Taylor out there. So
I hear a lot of Genesee and
and that's one that is not really. I wouldn't consider that anything that's like James Taylor inspired. That's very much more of a. I know that's almost more of like a kind of an early '90s kind of.
Yeah, it sounds very
vibe
early
and
90s,
stuff like that.
Your voice has always reminded me of like Vince Gill's
But
voice.
I've gotten that before. I would
beautiful
love
voice.
to have his voice, and more importantly, I would love to have his guitar collection in the bank account. So Vince, if you're listening out there,
Yeah.
I mean, he got the vest on. He does.
that's right. I threw this on, and my wife's like, I think that vest is
Let's
too
look
short.
at one of those.
You know what? You
drawers.
kind of look like Vince a little bit too, by the way.
I've heard that. I'm kind of COVID-19. I'm filling out a little bit here and amongst the face.
That's
so
why I'm
it's
wearing
all-
this.
It's all. It's all good. But yeah, this is. I actually wrote just if you don't mind, if you'll indulge me, I started to write a little song for Fret Buzz.
Oh
And I-
no!
And I
Great,
don't have a whole song. But
Yeah.
I did get a chorus the other day, so let's see if I can do it and not mess it up. Oh, hey, there goes my cape. Let's see. I got it.
Fret buzz in the evening. I get high when I play my tunes. I got a coffee buzz when I wake up in the morning, and a beer buzz by the afternoon. Now some people say I'm crazy for laying around and writing songs, but every night I step up to the mic, and that's right where I belong. I got a Fred buzz in the evening, gets me high when I play my tunes. I got a coffee buzz when I wake up in the morning, and a beer buzz by the afternoon.
Sounds like a country song to me.
Well, now we have an intro song. Thank you so much,
No problem. I thought about them like Fred Buzz,
man. Yeah.
coffee buzz, beer.
Yeah, that's
You
all.
didn't mention truck or dead dog.
I did not.
Oh, you did mention Bam.
Railroads.
So
Railroads.
that's copyrighted now.
That's awesome. So Ben, I tell you what, man, your voice is amazing. Your songs
you
are
very
amazing.
much.
Where are you playing next?
That's a good question.
Besides the videos.
I know this will air after a couple of things are going on. So, unfortunately, with my marketing genius, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know where I'm at in November now.
Are you still
without
doing
my
your
phone.
live shows though? Can people go to your Facebook page?
Yeah. So you can go to my Facebook page, which I kind of have two. I've got my personal page, Benjamin Walls, and then there's a music page, which is Ben Walls. You can follow on both. I actually, because of the way Facebook is set up, I tend to use my personal page a lot more because I've got like, I don't know, like 3,900.
Yeah.
I don't say just over time, I've amassed a bunch of people on there, so it's
Sure.
easier to reach out to people on that
Yeah.
page. I got a website, benwalls.com. And then you can catch me on Fret Buzz here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Episode.
You can catch that
with all
song
these
over and over.
Fabulous guitars and fabulous musicians. I'm looking forward to hearing my fellow colleagues over here.
Yeah. That 330, by the way.
Yeah.
Sounded killer. Can we?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Janelle, would you step on that pedal for me?
Yeah, I picked that because as somebody who plays acoustic for the most part, when I looked around, I was like, this, I've never played one of these really. I mean, I think I've probably picked one up before, but I've
Yeah.
never, this is kind of like reminds me a bit of the Back to the Future, the Marty McFly.
Right.
Actually, Vince Gill.
No, yes, he does. He does play. And I thought that was a 335 at first, but that is
Right.
not.
Vince plays a 335 a lot.
Yeah.
But, that's interesting. I never thought of that. But a 330 is an interesting model because it is fully hollow.
Yeah.
As opposed to the thin line telly, which is semi-hollow. They had blocks in them.
335 has a block.
A 335 has a block, a 345 had a block, 355 has a block. 330s are fully hollow. And they have P90s, which are large single coils, as opposed to the other guitars have humbuckers. And this is a transition one. It's probably late 63, mid 63. And I don't know if you noticed, but you see the black plastic?
I was getting ready to ask
It's
that.
chrome plated. So right before this, they would have been black. And right after this, they're actually metal and plated with nickel.
Okay.
So this is a very small time period where they actually paint or, put this coating on the black pickups. And it's worn off, you can see it.
Yeah.
But that's an original thing. And it's the beginning of the block inlays. Before this, they have dot inlays. And that happens with 335s too. They go to block inlays. They have dots before that. Kind of a wide neck,
Yeah.
which is typical for 61 to 63.
Playing acoustics, you probably.
Yeah, that's what I kind of gravitated once I picked it up. I'm like, oh, this is much more like an acoustic neck than.
And it has what they call a short guard. The earlier ones have a longer pick guard that comes down to about here. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same features. Later on, in the late 60s, they go to a different neck joint. They're longer. They join at a different place down here. But otherwise, it's, a pretty normal guitar for this model. This model, when Gibson bought Epiphone, they made a Casino, which the Beatles played, which is basically the exact same guitar with different inlays and slightly different headstock.
And the finish that was removable, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people strip the Casinos, but I thought it sounded good with your music and it worked really, really
It's a nice
well.
warm. It's kind of it's a little jazzier tone. Kind
Yeah,
of.
that's
Amazing
that's
how
what
in
the
tune it
P90s
was.
do, yeah.
Did you guys notice how perfectly in tune up and down the neck it was?
Well,
I mean, it's
If
crazy.
you want me to admit, there's like one of the first chords, I don't know if it was a neck thing, it went around a little bit. Or maybe it was, I don't know.
Wow, maybe
You
that's
should
what he
do
was.
it over.
Maybe that's what he was going for was a wow.
Yeah,
Overdub.
right, get this,
Overdub.
That's right. But yeah, man, it sounded good. You sounded killer, like
Thank
you
you.
always
Yeah, it sounded
do.
great.
Thank you.
You know what? I think that you might have played a concert in front of my store. One time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
did. It was before a UC game or something.
Yeah. I remember listening to you at my
Yeah,
office.
we were doing a concert up there. It was
Raise
like
3,500.
a block. Yeah. Go there.
That's the last time I heard you, by the way.
It
It
probably
sounds
is, yeah.
killer, man.
I don't get this. I don't probably like you. I don't get to hear as many other people. That's the downside of playing all the
It
time.
really
that
is.
You really don't get out to hear people. That's
No.
why it's kind of nice to
Yeah.
go out and see and hear other people and what they're doing. So
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you
I know it was
guys.
last
Appreciate you
minute.
having me.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to Fretback.
You got it.
Thanks a lot.
got a buddy that's looking for one of the little GA5s.
Okay.
I just texted about it yesterday, Jason.
Yeah. I sold one yesterday too. I had those are great little amps for the money. You can't beat them, man.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, I don't really understand why they're still $600-700.
Right.
It's crazy. That's like you could go out and buy some little new boutique amp and it'd be $1,500, and you can buy like a hand-wired Gibson amp from the.
I've got one with tremolo, man. It is fantastic. The little Skylark.
Absolutely, yeah.
See that cab underneath this JTM 45 over here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Benji didn't bring his wallet.
Well, you got a credit card, right?
Yeah. Want to film some?
I'm filming.
Oh, you're filming? Okay. We didn't talk shit about anybody.
Not yet. Sorry,
Make sure
your
you
camera was on for that.
No, we're good. We're rolling.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got the Bobby Mackey with us.
We're all buzzing now.
Yeah, the fabulous Bobby Mackey.
Well, great to be here.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So I was thinking, 42 years, you've probably seen country just go through all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
But 42 years ago, when I first looked at the place, it was in April 1978. First looked at it.
78.
And, it was an old gambling casino that had been closed down for a long time. Place was all run down, and still is. Still is.
That's why it's a
been
great
fun.
bar.
Were you playing in bands, as an artist back then too?
Yeah. I started. Actually, this is my 50th year in the music business. This past weekend, 50 years ago, I started with a band.
Yeah.
We
It
should
was-
have had a cake.
Yeah, been a good idea. But this band called me. They needed a singer. It was a 4-piece country band, and I'd been working on the railroad and just got laid off. And this band leader called me, and so I joined them in 1970. A place called Apple over in Woodlawn, and started there.
What was that
And
band called?
It was the Country Lads.
Okay.
Red Jenkins and the Country Lads.
Of course, they
was the
aren't
bass
lads
player.
anymore, I'm sure.
And when did you
No.
break out on your own and become an artist?
I don't know, 4 or 5 years after that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I left there and went to the Boulevard, which was about 5 minutes away, and was there 4.5 years. And then with the Julie's Boulevard was in Springdale, Julie's in Sharonville, and decided to get my own place and give it a try.
So back then, they would have like a house guy that would just play all week for months and months on ends. Is that what you mean by you went to the Boulevard?
Yeah, just a nightclub, and
Yeah. And they'd have you
played-
guys play every night.
5 nights a week
Yeah.
for a long time.
Wow.
And then I decided to get a place, and I heard about the old Latin Quarter being closed down, and it was an old gambling casino. And
There was a lot of
I
those
figured-
kind of things down.
Yeah,
down
Newport was
there.
wild
Yeah,
back then, wasn't it?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I figured I'd just go over there and roll the dice,
Yeah.
And been rolling sevens ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's been great.
I mean, it's international.
Yeah, I mean, you've had everybody come through there.
Yeah, we got to counting it up here. I started writing names down, and I think I might have them all. I don't know, about 56 different artists. George Jones and Mural, Haggard, people like that. Vern Gosden was there. Lots of great country singers.
Yeah.
And it's been great. And country music took a big change here. I got a new album called 50 Years, and it's coming out. And I recorded some of the songs I recorded 7 years ago, but country, there was no place to get country played.
Oh yeah.
Because the new country took over all the country stations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And but it's built back up. There are 500 worldwide country music radio stations now playing,
Country.
real country music.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. And this lady down in I think Louisiana Dina Woods got this company called NDX Press, and she'll put the music on her site, and all DJs can go there and pick what they want.
Gotcha.
Rather than mail them all over the world.
Right.
And it works good.
I don't know if you want to go in. What's like the most outrageous story? You don't have to name the artist or band by name. I'm sure you have like seen something happen, man.
You see some wild stuff for sure.
Yeah, I got one.
Just one.
It was a guy that I couldn't even put him on the list because he almost played there.
Was it Beck again?
He come
Just
in.
his first name.
He come in and set up, had his flags, rebel flags and everything, big stuff, set it all up. But the deal was they had to, whatever they set up for their show, it had to stay up because after their show, my band and I were going to start.
Sure, yeah.
And it would took the rest of the night. They carried stuff for 3 hours in. It probably took them 5 hours to get it out. And the night would have been over because it was an early show that they.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, whatever you got there is going to have to stay. And we got a show down in Prestonsburg tomorrow afternoon. I said, it's got to stay. I said, if you can't leave it up for the night for us to play. If you can't leave it up for the night, take it out now.
Right.
And they did.
And they left, right?
They had just got it all in there set up, and they carried the lights and flags and. All you need is a microphone.
That's right. Oh man,
that's crazy.
Well, that is crazy stuff.
But some of the songs on this album were, like I said, 7 years ago when I cut them, they were just too country, and I just didn't put them out.
Too country.
But country's coming around.
Yeah.
Again, because they got stations playing it, and a lot of independent artists that are really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
good.
The big companies like the Nashville recording companies, the big labels, they're not touching it.
Yeah.
So independents make their own way. They record it themselves and go with it.
Do you find, or is there like, Nashville's known, whatever. Is there like anywhere else that like the real stuff is kind of moving to that you think, or replacing Nashville for like authentic?
I don't know. All I know is that traditional country is all I've ever wanted to do and all I've ever done, and it's worked for me. So
yeah.
And it's just a sign of the times,
Yeah.
So where can we get that album on your website?
It'll be available. iTunes and wherever.
Is it Bobby Mackey and the Best Damn Band?
No, I recorded this stuff in the studio with the studio musicians.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
stuff.
Yeah. Is it just under your name, just Bobby Mackey?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a great band, and they can play, but in the studio, but to have guys that do it all the time, it makes it run smooth.
Yeah.
And I love all my band members; they're great.
Yeah, and you cut the album 7 years ago, or have you?
Well,
just
I
been
cut
working
some
on
of the songs. Been working on it, but some of the songs I did, but I just left them alone and didn't release them.
Sure.
But they're on this album, and because they fit now, there are places, radio stations that will play it.
Yeah,
You're
great.
kind of a multi-instrumentalist, right? I mean, you do keys also, or
No.
no? I thought you did.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
I just picked an old flat top.
Well, you probably think that because he always has the best players in his band.
I got you showing all the guitars and everything.
Yeah.
I got an old Roy Rogers guitar, my first guitar.
Oh wow! You still have your first guitar? That's great.
Yeah, Roy Rogers guitar.
I love that restaurant.
Yeah.
You like their apple pies, right?
Makes you think of a barbecue sandwich or something.
Horsey sauce or trigger sauce.
Trigger sauce, yeah, which I was kind of dubious of that.
So
my all-time hero, Mural Haggard, is my all-time favorite singer, and I wrote this song that I'm going to do about Mural Haggard called the Mural Haggard Blues.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you're one of the few people that someone has requested a song by. I'm glad you're doing that one. But what was the song that you wanted to hear, Jason?
Johanna. Oh my goodness, Johanna. Yeah. Well, that's written. I wrote that about the ghost.
Yeah.
At the club. I don't believe that. After I got the club and got open and started hearing these rumors about an unseen entity there. And I just never, I was about the music, I still am. I focus on the music and running the nightclub. Of course, got to make the nightclub run so I can stay on the stage and sing.
Yeah.
But started hearing these things, and it just kind of just got out of hand. I started hearing it early, and I didn't want it talked about. A kid that lived right up the street, I hired him to help around there and take care of the place and stock beer and sweep the floor and stuff.
Sure.
And he was great. He's a great kid, and he was always there. He started. He grew up just up the street, and he started telling me these stories. And I said, I don't want to hear. What are you trying to tell me? I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare people off before I get open. So I told him not to say nothing about nobody. And
I've seen that like on 3 or 4 of those ghost shows.
So,
or whatever.
so when did
Ghost
you
events.
decide that we'll let people know?
Well, Doug Hensley, a good friend of mine, was writing some short stories and selling them to some magazines and stuff. And they'd be really far out crazy stories. And he was reading me something from an article or a short story he'd just written. He was reading it. It was kind of gory. I said, I got a real story that I've been hearing about around here, and he went bizarre. I thought he'd never do it. He went to writing it, and I told him that Carl had been trying to tell me them stories for years, and he was going to Carl, trying to get Carl to tell him the stories, and he wouldn't talk to him. And finally, both of them cornered me, and I said, I don't care, Carl. It's about 10 years in. I said, I don't care, Carl. If you won't tell him, I don't care. I didn't think it'd go anywhere.
Can you tell us just a little bit about the story? Like, what story you meant to talk about?
Well, there are different arms and legs of it. There was a girl in the area that was beheaded in 1896.
By like some brothers or something? Some brothers?
Yeah,
did it?
well, it wasn't brothers. They were Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling. And the girl was from Indiana. And one of the boys was her boyfriend, but these guys were dental students at UC, and so she come down to visit her boyfriend, and she was the story is she was pregnant at the time, and they somehow or other attempted an abortion or something, and she died. They cut her head off, thinking nobody.
They were at the wrong end.
Thinking nobody would identify her. And they did from a pair of shoes she had on. She had a pair of shoes on, and they traced those shoes to a shoe store out in Indiana where she was from.
Wow.
The town where she was from, and she was missing. And
so the body was found. I thought it was like not found for a while or something.
the head never was found.
Oh, okay.
Never. But see, the site of the nightclub back then was the site was a slaughterhouse, and there was a well on the property, and it's underneath the nightclub.
And that's where they found the body?
No. She's really not connected there, except for the head was never found, but this well is where they drained the blood from the slaughterhouse. And it went down and under the railroad track into the Licking River. It was a tunnel. And it was told that some devil worshiping went on there. And they believed that they disposed of the head in that well. And it's underneath the nightclub.
That's crazy.
You're part of the like Cincinnati haunted tour, don't they? Like tour bus or like a bus goes by and like.
Yeah, they do that about every Halloween. That whole group comes over, but we offer tours during the week, or we have them during the night when we're open for business. Every hour,
I didn't
take people down to the basement.
Yeah, our theater's on the National
That's like a
10 go down, 9 come up.
That was like a short tour, but we have a couple of 2-hour tours. We have 2-hour tours during the week. That's one thing. Gatekeeper Paranormal Group handles all that,
Gotcha.
and they run tours during the week. That's set up and booked.
Yeah.
We also have overnight investigations for the professional.
Those are the people
ghost
who don't
hunters.
hear last call, I guess.
Yeah. So I didn't start it, and I can't stop it.
Might as well go with it.
We're on the National Haunted Registry here too.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the whole year and a half I worked here,
Yeah,
I
Mark-
think they were afraid of me. I don't know.
yeah.
But he brought up Johanna song that's sold all over the world because of the Ghost Adventures and all the shows it's been featured on.
Yeah.
I've sang the song on a lot of those shows, and through I've got more followers on Twitter. I've got more followers over in the UK than I do here in the United States.
Oh wow, that's
And
great.
people all over the world. And of course, Facebook's a big thing
Yeah,
for us. Social media is really something.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
We gotta-
I enjoy your stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this song is about Mural, you said?
Yeah. I wrote this song one day. I had the Mural Haggard blues.
I got the Mural Haggard blues today. I write songs when I feel this way. I grab my guitar and I play. I got the Mural Haggard blues today. He grew up in a boxcar in Oildale by the railroad track. His daddy died when he was 8 years old. He had a hard time with that. His mama did the best she could, but he stayed out on the run. They locked him away in San Quentin before he was 21. I got the Mural Haggard blues today. I write songs when I feel this way. I grab my guitar and I play. I got the Mural Haggard blues today. Country music was his passion. He joined the prison band to sing and play. When Johnny Cash sang at the joint, it changed his life that day. That was his inspiration to be the legend he became. He wrote them songs, sang those hits, and they put him in the Hall of Fame. I got the Mural Haggard blues today. I write songs when I feel this way. I grab my guitar and I play. I got the Mural Haggard blues today. I grab my guitar and I play. I got the Mural Haggard blues today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bobby. That was
A lot
fabulous.
of fun. Thanks for having me.
So good, man. So good. Well, we really appreciate you coming. I've enjoyed your stuff for years and appreciate all you do for the area, and you've supported a lot of musicians, man. You've had a lot of my friends play there, and we all appreciate what you do, buddy.
Thank you.
So you planning on doing this a lot longer? Do you have a plan for retirement, or are you going to keep kicking?
No. I think I'll know when to park the bus. I don't.
Take a dive in the well, huh?
Yeah.
Do you drive the bus for your house still?
No.
Didn't you drive the bus there for when you lived? Did you have a bus that you took?
Yeah, one time when
Yeah.
I was doing a little
Yeah.
bit of road stuff, but
Yeah.
a few tours out. But
Yeah.
it's always been much more comfortable in Wilder.
I bet, man, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many songs are on the new album?
I got 12.
Wow.
12 songs.
Yeah. Are they all songs that you have been inspired by, like over the last 10 years, or recent things? Or
Different things.
Yeah.
I've written more in the last 10, 15 years than I ever did before. I don't know why that is. I never felt comfortable writing songs, but it got that way. Here's a little song. My wife and I got married on the beach in St. Petersburg 10 years ago. And I got this T-Bird. The last year they made the T-Bird. And she won't even drive it. She can't see over the hood. She won't drive it at all. But I wrote this little song. I woke this morning, never heard a sound. I looked everywhere, she was nowhere to be found. Then I saw a text she sent, I couldn't believe the words. She said, I'm on my way to Florida in the T-Bird. She's out there on the highway rolling southbound. Hair blowing in the breeze, she's probably got the top down. She loves that Florida sunshine, she loves St. Petersburg. She's on her way to Florida in the T-Bird. She's on her way to Florida in the T-Bird.
Yeah.
It's like that George Strait song. The last thing she gave me was the bird, like getting kicked out. And getting the parrot.
But songs come from. You just never know. There's probably been a lot of songs that ideas people had and start writing and then not finish it and kind of lose it.
Yeah.
Not remembering the melody.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've done it myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've all done that. We sounded great on that guitar. That's an old Gibson guitar.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I love them Gibson flat.
You know, I initially had an idea of bringing in a Martin that I got that was Roy Clark's. It's for you to play.
Yeah.
And I took it out, and when I got the guitar from the state, on the case it said "My first good guitar," and it still had the strings that he had put on it, and it smelled like Roy Clark, and it had like a strap on it. Seriously,
I never smelled him, so.
Well, it smelled like cologne. I just assumed it was Roy. And I was going to restring it. I thought, you know what, man, I'm just going to leave this guitar be.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my first thought for you because I know you're a Martin guy.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I ended up bringing this, which is a country and western.
I've got an 015 Martin.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a D18.
I got a D18. Yeah. I got a D28.
Yeah.
But the D18 is the one my mother bought me years ago.
Yeah.
And
I remember seeing that at your house like probably 40 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but this 1939 015 Martin is one of them baby.
Yeah, mahogany top guitar.
Yeah.
We've had one on the show. That's a great guitar. Yeah. You like that guitar a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do. I keep it on a hanger on the wall. I'm never more than 10 feet away from it.
Yeah, that's a good couch guitar because it's so light. And,
yeah.
Anyway, I brought this guitar because we've never had a country and western on, and this model was basically the natural version of a Southern Jumbo. A Southern Jumbo is this guitar in Sunburst.
Don't they have different inlays?
No, it's exactly parallelograms.
Yeah, what you said.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the same
Geometry
guitar.
major.
And they came out in I'm going to get this wrong, 1956, I think is the first year for these. And they actually say country and western model in them. And then later on, about 1961, they take that away and they're just called CJNs, which is, or CWNs, country western natural. I don't know why they did that. But this version is a round shoulder, which is a typical Gibson feature up until 61. And I love Southern Jumbos, and this is just sort of an oddity that they would make a whole nother model just because it was natural. But
the same price, maybe you think?
I think it probably was about the same price. They were probably about $450 at that time, and it's a small window of time. They actually say country and western with like this, I think 5 or 6 years. It has a top belly bridge, multiple binding on top and on the back. It's mahogany. It has this sort of crown inlay on it with the normal Clouson style tuners.
Somebody had a nice belt buckle, didn't they?
Nice belt buckle wear. Somebody played it. But you sounded great on it, Bobby. You sounded really good.
You guys,
rang it. And,
we had the best seat in the house. I'm not
Sounded
kidding. I mean, when I was tuning that,
Yeah.
but when you hear it projected and then you hear it projected,
Yeah, out
through-
front makes a
through
huge
guy
difference.
like-
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Through a guy like Bobby who has the hands
and the voice,
style,
yeah.
the sound.
Yeah.
I mean,
So can you tell me on Gibson, why do they put the bridge plate? It looks basically like they put it on upside down.
The bridge?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sort of a time period thing. Early on, they don't have this belly. Their early Gibsons are just straight across.
Okay.
And then they start this on some models in the late 30s, and then they go to the bottom thing.
Okay.
Actually, the bottom thing is first. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then they go to the top, and then they started doing adjustable bridges. But basically, it was just a time period thing.
Okay.
I'm not, I think maybe there was some trouble with the single straight bridges cracking on each side, possibly, and that's why they came up with this belly concept. But
Anyway.
honestly, I don't really know why they changed it. But a lot of times it's just engineers and people going
I know.
in and saying, let's do something different. You know what I mean?
well, I heard it was a way of distinguishing them from Martins
Could be.
as well. They
Yeah.
said we'll just flip it over as a way
Yeah,
of saying
possibly.
that's a Gibson.
That's pretty interesting.
But Gibson a lot of times would make sort of the same guitar and just add different features like inlays and binding.
Yeah.
This is basically a J45.
Yeah.
The body shape is the same. The woods are the same. They just add more binding and fancier features, but it's really the same guitar as a J45.
And like if you look at like new models, they have like the G, the J, the Studio.
Yeah, I can't keep track of that.
It gets insane. Gibson
Yeah.
shoots himself in the foot by basically releasing the same thing and doing what you said, calling it a different name.
Yeah, but I so much appreciate you coming, Bobby. We all enjoyed
Yes,
the songs.
yeah.
We look forward to hearing the album and getting down to the club and enjoying some
Halloween.
having some parties. Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And here we are.
All right, back on the show. Mr. Grapes in the house.
Yes.
Bill was in third band I was ever in.
Really? What
we
band
were
was
called
that?
The Buzz. We played the Jockey Club a couple times, 60s, modish 60s.
There you
new
go.
kind of
Imagine
stuff.
that. A modish
Yeah, we did
60s band.
some recording
Curious.
on a Ross 4 track. And Mike Grimm was in it also.
Oh, yeah.
And they kicked me out and became the Cybermen.
Good move.
Yeah. Cybermen were awesome, man. I mean, that was like one of my favorite local bands.
Yeah, I grew up watching you guys play many shows, man.
It was fun because I was the worst musician in the band.
I wouldn't say
No.
But what?
Man,
but
you're
I could stay.
awesome
I could stay.
bass player, man. I was like,
maybe when you kicked him out.
No, in the Cybermen. Because I could just play rhythm guitar and step back and listen to everybody else
you
play.
wrote the songs,
And
man.
that was
It's like,
that was the best part. So
yeah.
You wrote the songs.
Well, you
that
had
the whole
the
world
moves, too.
sing.
You had
at least Little Bill sing.
and the fashion. So. And then they reunited when Django Ramon
Yes.
moved out west, and
Yeah.
I got to be in for a year, and then they kicked me out. So
More good decisions.
they never learned.
So how long have you been playing?
40 years.
How long?
40 years.
Wow.
since high school.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah.
A lot of the same people, right?
Yeah. So like Mike Grimm.
Yeah.
When you have
So, yeah.
something that works, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, because Mike, we met at school, and so he started out on guitar,
Yeah, he's still
and he
cool.
still does. He still does guitar. Yeah,
He got rid of the orange. What was it,
the Sunkist Strat. Yeah. So, but
So, what were your influences other than the Who?
a lot of British stuff. I grew up. Actually, what I grew up on was country radio,
Oh yeah.
because that's what my parents.
WSAI and all this stuff.
Actually, Northern Ohio. They had a DJ up there, the old Jaybird. Played a lot of country stuff, a lot of mid to late '60s country stuff. And because I was raised in a very strict Baptist house, so
Interesting.
rock and roll was a sin. So
Still is.
but so we had a lot of country because they would play church music on there too.
Gotcha.
So I grew up hearing a lot of that, and going to church a lot. I learned how to harmonize. My parents sang in choir and all of that. So I had that kind of as a base, and then I discovered like '60s British rock. So there's just so much experimentation going on in there. So
And the Nugget stuff.
yeah, Nuggets, Pebbles, all of that, all the rock formations. So, Rubble.
But then you also like listen to like other kind of British music.
And just kind of moving through, and that it's went through jazz, listen to a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of '60s jazz stuff.
And your graphics for the records are amazing.
Oh, amazing stuff.
those are
Thanks,
really
so,
cool.
Always have been amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe we could fly some up on the Buzzatron and
So-
show some of your work.
so it's
So, you guys just did the thing with Clint, right?
we recorded over at Herzog with Clint and
Yeah.
The Mortals, that is.
the
and
Mortals.
Cybermen have a thing going on too right now?
No. So the Mortals, we're in the mixing stage of this new record now.
When did
so
the Mortals start? That was like back in Sudsy's days, but
89.
89.
Yeah, so so 89 through 94. And then we got back together Christmas 2018. And that show, we did that over at Woodward, and went really well.
Couldn't make it to that.
So
really kicked myself.
there wasn't room for you. That's all. That's
would've
how
kicked
full.
me out
That's
anyway.
how full it was.
You guys were on
so-
Estrus, right?
Yeah, we were on Estrus. So yeah, we just did. There's a new book coming out on about Estrus,
Oh wow.
and and they do a podcast, Podshock, and so I did Matt and I did an interview. Matt, our bass player, did an interview talking about the label.
Did you guys tour more than regionally?
We did every part but the Northeast of the U.S. So we were out on the West Coast.
Did the
down
label
through
send
Texas.
you guys out, or is that stuff you did on your own?
We just did it on our own. We
You
did.
did a lot of gigs, but like, did you tour with the Cow Slingers or?
We would do shows with them different places. We did possibly one of the worst tours ever. We did
I don't know about that.
5 shows, 6,000 miles. So that's how bad that tour was. So
Come home really, really in debt.
you play Bellingham, and then you drive down and play San Diego.
And then back up to like Seattle.
No, then over to Austin.
I thought we have like opposite ends.
Yeah.
Jim
Buy a
Davidson.
club, stay at home.
I know.
They come to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
It's like the booking agent throws darts at the map. Like, all right, there's gonna be.
once we got a booking agent, though, it was great.
Yeah.
Because
Jim Davidson helped record. You guys went up to Bellingham.
well, we did in Seattle at Egg, the first record. Yeah.
Jim
with,
Davidson
with Conrad Uno.
helped
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
Who was on our show.
Yeah.
you know.
Jim's on.
Yeah. We did. Did the first album in 40 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, you guys have always been. I've always thought of you guys as more of a live band. Honestly, it's super entertaining. If you guys aren't familiar, you've got to become familiar. And so, is the new writing process pretty much the same as like in the past? Were you bringing most of the songs, or what?
Actually, no. Which is it's kind of cool because you don't, when everybody in the band starts writing, that's when it becomes really easy then. Because
Maybe.
well, when everybody in the band starts writing really good songs,
Yeah.
and they bring them in, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then you can see, oh, well, I can do this to this now, because you're singing. I don't have to. I don't have that weight. I can do, and all of a sudden you've got all these other influences you could throw in, and that's something else really cool with this new album, is we don't have to say, oh, let's make it what it sounds like live. We can say, oh, we can, like we were talking earlier.
Play the studio.
Yeah, we can throw in a Hammond organ now.
Right, a mellotron.
We can throw in a mellotron. We can throw in a horn section.
Yeah.
Because the song will.
I'll do kazoo if you got it.
He's great at it.
He does. He really does.
I learned how to
Twin
flip it
fiddles?
around where you actually.
Can you throw in some twin fiddles?
We got strings on it, so. So it's, it allows you to do this whole other thing now we can do, and then the live stuff is still, it's still got like an edge to it, but
Yeah.
it's,
Mike would play drums, but he didn't play piano.
Yeah, well.
Can you handle snakes? Because that would be so cool.
The cables.
I think, weren't you in a band that did that?
It was more than a snake.
It was a python.
PA snake.
So what's this tune about?
So Matt, who's kind of the boss in the band, he's like, hey, let's do a concept album. And we were like, that's a really bad idea. Let's do it.
What's the concept?
So he wanted to do a sci-fi concept album. And so it's just like an idea about a planet, everything's going wrong. I'm going to make this really short. So yeah, it's like planet, everything's going wrong. There's a scientist and a mercenary, and at the very end of the thing, the planet's being destroyed, and they escape on a spaceship. That's the basic idea of the.
I saw that music show behind the scenes with Styx, and the guitar player.
Grand Illusion.
Yeah, the Styx guitar player said, I just couldn't think about any more songs about robots. So that's what. There you go.
So and this song is like the last song on the record, and I was trying to tell an entire story, essentially like the escape from the planet, going to another planet, but not being very telling everything.
Direct.
Just not be direct, but just be, just talk around it.
Yeah, vague.
Yeah. And so if you know what it is, and that's what I told Matt, I said, I want to write songs that when you know what it is, you know what it is. But if you don't know anything else about the record, and this is the only song you've heard, it could be a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah,
too.
like the time you kicked William out of the band. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, actually, he just stopped showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm the mercenary in the.
like Mike Hegan's list of songs, he has a bass player we've worked with.
Yeah.
He had made a list of all the bands he was in with, and like he was in half of the bands, and there were like 45 bands on that list. And recording wise, then too, you're able to. It's not just the song with just the guitar and vocals, but you can do different things. Like this part of the song has this feel to it, and then this part of the song,
It's great. It's fun planning stuff like that out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
experimenting.
But yeah,
It's the
planning out the
studio,
production. Yeah, I mean, so it's pretty cool. So
That's cool.
it's called Hope in the Darkness. So, but.
across the mountains, out beyond the sky. The sentimental sorrows to hold us in a sway. There is hope in the darkness, as is pain in the light. There is hope in the dark. We are now just a mystery, only known so far. A forgotten history set upon a star. There is hope in the darkness, as is pain in the light. There is love for the heartless, as is day for the night. There is depth to the surface, only seen by the blind. There is hope in the dark. Out beyond the mountains, out beyond the sea, and the golden horizon is where you'll bury me. Forget about tomorrow, as you would today. No sentimental sorrows to hold us in its sway. There is hope in the darkness, as is pain in the light. There is love for the heartless, as is day for the night. There is depth to the surface, only seen by the blind. There is hope in the dark. There is hope in the darkness, as is day for the night. There is love for the heartless, as is pain in the light. There is depth to the surface, only seen by the blind. There is hope in the dark.
Yeah! Woo! Right on. Took us into space, buddy. Yeah! That's cool, man.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
In the stuff, yeah. It's just
And I know what you mean. You can have many, many meanings in today's world for that.
Yeah.
I can just hear Graham on that, and
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Do you play acoustic when you guys do that live, or do you do it? Have you done it live?
Yeah, we've done it live. No, I just play electric, so it's like, you know.
what are you playing these days? Can I ask?
I'm playing homemade guitar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's got a like I said, it looks like a Les Paul ES 235, but I got a P90 in the neck and a humbucker in the bridge. So and I wired it up so it's like gets a little spanky single coil sound in the middle.
Well, I tried to give you the most Pete Townsend guitar I had.
You did, and you succeeded too. Yeah, so
He wasn't gonna bring in the double neck and you just play one of them.
yes, do the other neck on.
Sounded killer. It's a perfect thing to like get a big, full, giant
Yeah,
rhythm
so-
sound.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for having me too. Yeah,
Dude, man, I tell you
So-
what, that was a brave song to play. I think.
Oh man, yeah, I was kind of like, ooh, yeah, exactly, man. I know what you're
That was
saying.
really cool. A lot of parts, very, very intricate.
So you got a Mel Bay book recently because you're doing like majors.
Once
and, like,
again, the stickers on the neck. Yeah,
The more
yeah. You know,
I think it's funny you put more acoustic-y guys on electrics and more.
Switch
It's
it
all
up.
about getting out of your comfort zone.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Well, you know, I know his influences, so I always think of the Townsend thing, what was that concert we were just talking about? The Policeman's Ball.
Policeman's
where he's,
Ball,
like,
yeah.
pounding on J200, you know.
yeah. So yeah.
That's cool. Well, this is a rarity. This is a really early one. This is a 49. These started earlier, and the original ones had rosewood, but this is the first version with the maple back and sides, which is what everybody thinks of as a J200. And it still has the early style tuners. It's a 1949. Early on, they were called SJ200s, and this, I think they did that up until like 54, and then they become just J200s. I could be wrong about that. You're out to check, but it's the first version of a J200. It has the mini multiple binding around the outside, the rosettes with the double binding here, 5 and then 3, and the open mustache bridge, which they changed later on. They go to a closed one, and it still has the early tiny frets that you felt. Early style tuners, and look at the strap button.
I know. I noticed that when I first picked it up. Like,
Yeah, it is.
It came.
Yeah, a lot of the early ones had weird strap buttons like that.
Was that bridge just for that guitar, or I don't remember ever seeing?
This is a feature of this guitar. Yeah, the jumbo or
with the
super jumbo model. It's a really great sounding guitar. I thought.
Yeah, yep.
Huge neck.
Yeah, first it wasn't bad. What I'm playing like electric now. It's almost like an SG neck on a Les Paul body.
Exact opposite of this then.
Yeah, but it's like an acoustic. Acoustic needs it really.
Yeah.
And plus, when we were talking about picking up guitars and old guitars, the thing for me is like for songwriting. When I pick up an old guitar, I like to think that the music that's been made on that thing is still in it,
right?
And you can draw off of that too.
Absolutely.
And it's like because when I had that Coronado 2, that '67 Coronado 2.
You got that from me, right? The Wildwood.
No, I got it from Jimmy.
Okay.
And then Mike ended up with it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I picked that thing up, it's like I had songs.
Yeah.
It's that the songs are in the guitar. It's like the whole Michelangelo, the sculpture's in the rock. You just have to find it.
We were talking about
and
piano.
The rock is in the guitar.
So
I think of J200 as almost the piano of guitars because the frequencies on these guitars, it's got such a huge bottom end.
Yeah.
And they have a very scooped kind of frequency to them.
Yeah.
So it's a good accompaniment for a songwriter, especially a very rhythm based.
Yeah, and that song has a lot of bottom end to it too. Yeah, so
I've always
perfect.
Been a huge fan of J200. It's one of my favorite guitars. This is one of the earliest ones I've ever had, which is why I kept it. And man, you sound a killer like always.
Thank you.
It's great to hear you
Thank
again.
you.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So
Thanks for coming. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks
Really
for having us.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you all so
Janelle,
much.
yes,
thank you
very much.
Thanks to the crew.
Elton, I guess.
The whole crew. Thank you guys.
A couple times.
We appreciate
Silas, it's been fun having you, brother. He's moving to Colorado.
Really?
Thank you for all your service,
you.
my friend.
There we go.
Yeah. And Jason, who's spread out like Bert on the ground.
I'll send that to you.
Yeah.
Used to be your hat in the way. Now it's your foot.
Coffee up. Yeah.
Yes.
Woo! Thank you guys so much.
it.
Yeah. It's a wrap.
She's looking to get up and get out or get on down. She's looking to sing a highway song, and it goes on and on, yeah. Nothing can change the way that I feel when you're around. My heart starts to pound, my feet leave the ground. The sweet anticipation of what's to come. When love is found and walls come down. I got the Mural, Haggard blues today. I write songs when I feel this way. I grab my guitar and I play.